Hey, it's Christina with Tinagirl Travels. We're here in Helsinki, Finland, right in the harbor. We're about to get on Viking Line. That's a ferry that we're going to take from Helsinki to Stockholm. We're going to take you with us. Let's go check it out. We actually started our trip from the Helsinki airport, where we dropped off our rental car. We took a train into Helsinki and decided to walk from the central train station to the Viking Line ferry terminal. It was a beautiful summer day. It was only 2 kilometers away. The Line 5 tram also takes you there, or you can take a taxi, and that's a 5-minute ride. But why not walk? It's just past Helsinki's famous Skywheel, and as you're walking past the Skywheel, look for the brown car. That's actually a sauna car. If you plan on driving in, there are 3 lots close by and 4 hotels in the area if you want to stay nearby. I'll add links to those places below in the description. Alright, so it's a really scenic walk through the prettiest part of Helsinki. It's flat, and of course, this would not be quite so nice in the snow or the rain or freezing temperatures, but it's definitely an option. There were scooters and a bike drop-off area for those rental bikes right next to the terminal. And as you come into the terminal, you'll have the choice to print your ticket at the kiosk, or if you like human interaction and you want to talk to somebody at the check-in desk, they will print your tickets for you there. Here's our ticket with our cabin number. It's also our room key, and this is also our ticket for the breakfast buffet that we paid for, and we had a separate ticket for our dinner reservation. Our dinner ticket gave us the time we needed to be there, and I picked 6 p.m. and we already had an assigned table. We booked our ticket online from home in Canada. Once we chose our dates, we could customize our trip, selecting an inside or outside cabin. If we wanted buffet meals, we could also add a vehicle as well if we needed to. It was all very easy to do online. I'll add a link to the website below in the description if you're interested in booking your own journey. We arrived at the terminal at about 3:30, not sure how long everything was going to take with boarding, so I always like to be a little bit early, and we were able to board by 4 o'clock, and the ship sailed at 5:15. So we had to scan our tickets, and we had to show our passports as well to get through. There are 5 Viking ships that you can sail on. We were on the Cinderella, which was built in 1989, and the newest ship in the fleet is actually the Viking Glory, and that was built in 2022. I'm getting so excited. This is going to be so fun. The last time I did this crossing was when I was 12, so that was a few years ago, and we actually sailed on Silja Line that time, and that's the other ferry line that does this run. These overnight sailings are actually known for being party boats, and the duty-free shopping is fantastic. Check out my video specifically on shopping the duty-free on board the Viking Line. I'll add a link to that video to the end of this one. Viking Cinderella has 10 decks that we can access. Our cabin is on deck 9. Let's go check out our cabin. Here we are, cabin 9203. We're actually at the back of the ship. You use your little key card to get in. All right, well, that's pretty much what I expected. So that's about a double-sized bed in North America. It's got the towels there for you and nice clean bedding, and out the window we can see Silja Line. And we've got 2 plugs right here on the little desk vanity area. Plus there's 2 beside the bed here. So there's a telephone, and you've also got a hair dryer here and a little table. And turning around, we see our bathroom, and it's got a little handheld bidet there with the wall hung toilet and a shower, which is great. So there is body wash and there is soap in this bathroom. We've got a little TV here, and yeah, the bed. Cute, cozy. Lighting beside the bed, and I want to show you a little secret thing that you need to know here. There's a plug behind the TV as well if you need another one, and you can plug things into that little USB slot right there if you need to charge. There are 3 hallways here at the back of the boat, so you want to make sure that if you're trying to find your cabin, that there are those 3 hallways, so don't get confused. Down some of the main hallways, you're going to find some interesting things like casino games, and down this hall here I found some lockers. So if you need to lock something up to keep it secure, maybe you don't have a room, maybe you're partying all night and you need to put some stuff somewhere, that's where you would put it. And we've got more casino games here as well. A few places on the ship you'll find these information boards that will tell you what's happening, and it'll give you a schedule of different places you can go and find entertainment. There's also a schedule for kids programs, and there's just so much happening on board. There's a conference center on board, there are several bars and nightclubs, there's the spa with the sauna, there are restaurants, as well as the buffet. Here's some of the prices in the bars if you want to buy a drink. They even have gluten-free and alcohol-free beer if you want some of those options. There's the duty-free shop that opens after we sail. We'll pop in there later. Here's a cafe, a bar, and a restaurant, all in one. They serve things like burgers and fish and chips. There's the kids area, and right across from that is a cafe-style restaurant. So if you don't book the dinner buffet, this is one of the other places that you can eat. Let's see what they have. Oh, look at those shrimp sandwiches and the desserts. Those are really good. And actually, $9.50 for a shrimp sandwich is a great deal. Princess cake in there I see. Oh, yum. Great offerings. There's a little seating area straight ahead, but let's look at the drinks in here. Actually, I found the drinks to be quite reasonable. And they have some sandwiches in there as well and some salads at the bottom. Kombucha. $3.60 for a kombucha. I think that's a good deal. So lots of seating in this area, and then this also turns into a dance club in the evening. All right, let's head on up to deck 11, the captain's deck. As we come through the door here, there's not much to see on this level, but as we come upstairs, you'll see that we haven't left the port yet, but we will be soon. So there is no elevator access to this top floor. You have to actually take the steps up here. And this seating area actually was quite popular, and people sat here and played cards and had a nice drink and just kind of looked over the city. Such a beautiful thing to do on a nice day like this. As we come around the corner, there's more seating here and nice big open space, and then along the walkways here people are sun tanning, and another big space actually in the center area of the ship. So we're pulling out of port right now. It's so pretty. Make sure you're up on deck or you're looking out your windows as you're pulling out of port. It's so beautiful to see the city. The South Harbour port of Helsinki is one of the busiest passenger ports in Europe and the main port for foreign trade here in Finland. From here, you can also take a ferry across to Tallinn, Estonia, and if you have time, make sure you do that. It's a wonderful day trip. So almost 5 million passengers travel through this port yearly, including about 37,000 international cruise ship passengers. So it's a very busy harbor. There are so many little islands as we leave the port area and we sail so close to them. In fact, there are 330 islands in Helsinki's archipelago. Look at those little houses. Imagine living there. That would be so incredible. So now we're coming up to something really interesting. It's called Suomenlinna, and it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a sea fortress which was built up gradually starting in the mid-1700s. It's made up of 8 islands, and you can go visit there when you're in Helsinki. So whether you're sailing on Viking Line, Silja Line, or the Tallinn Link, be sure to head outside during sail away so you don't miss this part of the cruise. Let's head on inside to the buffet and check out what's for dinner. So when we booked our cruise, we had a choice of dinner seatings, 5:30, 6, 6:30, 7, and 7:30. And they want you to arrive within your half-hour time slot. So we had an assigned table for dinner. It's actually quite a large dining room with lots of different areas to sit. In the buffet, you will find all kinds of salads, shrimp, eggs, pâtés. There was a carving station of roast beef. There were different kinds of potatoes, chicken, fish, breads, and of course desserts. Beer and wine, juices, and soft drinks were all included, as was coffee and tea. The food tasted great and was nicely presented. The buffet didn't feel crowded, and we actually really enjoyed it. Well, what do you think? It looks pretty good. I'll show you the breakfast buffet in a minute, but first let's head over to the duty-free shop and get a little glimpse into what you can expect to find there. I was surprised at the selection of items in the tax-free shop, and I was surprised at how large this shop actually was. I have to say there were some phenomenal deals, and just as an example, everyone needs a Pippi doll, and this one was only 22 euros, and the ones exactly like this one in Stockholm were over 33 euros. There was everything from clothing to perfumes and cosmetics. There was jewelry, beer, wine, spirits. There was a Finnish Marimekko section. There was toys, souvenirs, candy, and a lot of candy, and huge bags of it too. You'll have to watch my full shopping video of this duty-free shop to see everything. I'll add a link to that video to the end of this one for you to watch. Remember I said these ships were known for being party ships? Well, our late night party days are over. We are now sleeping people who get up early to see the Stockholm archipelago. We had a great night's sleep and we were up on the top deck at 6 a.m. to enjoy the sail through of the archipelago. Now the Helsinki archipelago is nice with 330 islands, but the Stockholm archipelago has 30,000 islands. I'm not kidding. We sailed through it on a cruise ship 2 years ago, and it was one of the highlights of my cruising life, and I have done a lot of cruising all over the world. It is worth getting up for. Bundle up, grab a coffee, and go see it. It's incredible. All right, it's time for our buffet breakfast. The dining room opens at 7 if you're cruising into Stockholm and 8 if you're cruising into Helsinki. There is a time change overnight, so that's why the times are different. There are lots of choices for breakfast, from the standard North American style bacon and eggs to waffles and fruit, jams, jellies, bread, cheeses, cold cuts, and my favorite is riisipiirakas or Karjalan piirakas, which is something I grew up with in my Finnish Swedish home. You have to try one with a little egg butter. It's absolutely delicious. So coffee, tea, juices, they're all included. The dining room was almost empty when we arrived at 7 a.m. By the time we left, though, it was getting quite full. So go early to avoid crowds. You can sit anywhere you like for breakfast. If you are a smoker, there are smoking lounges available to you. It's time to head back to our room and pack up before our 10 a.m. arrival. I just want to mention that the TV in the room worked great. It had a selection of Swedish, Finnish, and English programming, and everything from news, movies, to sports and kids channels. These rooms are small. This is what our cabin looks like with stuff in it. It's pretty crowded, but it's just for one night. They're pretty adamant that you get yourself off the ship soon after docking, and we noticed that once people left their rooms, they left their doors open for the cleaning team to come in. And not to be creepy here, but I did pop into the room across the hall just to give you a glimpse of what an inside cabin would feel like. So, you know, sometimes I'm worried it's going to be claustrophobic without a window, but this is actually pretty nice. Disembarkation actually happened on 2 different levels, so it made it really quick and easy to get off, and you walk through the terminal, and before you know it, you pop outside. In the description below, I've added links to our favorite anti-theft or anti-pickpocket day packs and crossbody bags that we always travel with. Check them out, and you can use my code Tinagirl10 for 10% off the PackSafe website. Once you get outside, there are taxis and buses available. Thanks for watching my video on taking the Viking Line from Helsinki to Stockholm. If I helped you out today, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Also, remember to watch my video on shopping on board the Viking Line's duty-free shop. I'll add that link right here. Let me know where you're watching from in the comments below. Again, thanks for watching Tinagirl Travels, and I'll see you in the duty-free.